Hello and welcome to Week 7 of the Premier Ultimate League. My name is Paul Vianas, and I am joined here by Chicago superstar Jason Valley. Jason, how are you doing today?
Pavel, it is a wonderful day in Milwaukee. The weather here is truly phenomenal. Very little wind. Sun is out and shining.
It's probably the first day of sunshine we've had in 6 months here in the Midwest. So expect maybe a little bit of a different game. You know, the wind won't be as much of a factor. The heat might get some players at times. What else, Jason?
Yeah. I truly think that these conditions are going to be favoring Atlanta. Them coming from the south, they're used to good weather. They're used to not having a lot of wind. Us here in the Midwest, we've been spoiled by awful weather and tough wind. So I think they're kind of, wishing that it was a little worse conditions because that would 100% work in their favor.
Yeah, but both teams are wishing to win here. It's been tough sledding for both teams. Atlanta hasn't won a game yet this season. Milwaukee hasn't won a game since week 1 against the Columbus Pride. I think that's what's going to make this game really fun because both teams are really hungry to get a win. But there's large differences in play styles and team composition. Atlanta, very young, mostly 18, 19, and 20-year-olds. On Milwaukee, much more experience, veteran presence and leadership. It's going to be an exciting matchup.
It's going to be a very exciting matchup. I do think we're going to see a lot of hunger out of Atlanta today. They definitely want to get a win on the board, as you were saying. A young team like this they have something to prove. They might have a chip on their shoulder. And whenever you have this Milwaukee team with big names like Georgia Bosher and Robin Fenning, you know that you want to make a name for yourself matching up on them and doing good things on the big stage.
Looks like we're about ready to go. Looks like Atlanta is going to the right end zone, and Milwaukee will start in the left end zone.
It seems like Milwaukee might be starting on offense. Atlanta's going to come out on defense. Yeah, as we said, there really is not a lot of, if any, wind today. The whole field is going to be open up for throws. It truly is a thrower's dream out here in sunny Milwaukee.
And you would know a thing or two about a thrower's dream, Jason. Tell us more about what throwers dream about.
Well, Pavel, God willing, I'm in yours every night. The #1 thrower in the Midwest over here, I have the grace of sitting next to, the PJ55.
I'm sorry, Jason, but the #1 thrower here is Georgia Bosher. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, maybe we should get more serious and stop riff-raffing. Let's get going here. What's the delay? Looks like, indeed, the Monarchs will be receiving in the left end zone to start.
Yeah, you truly have to wonder if these teams are going to be coming out of the gate hot. This is technically a home game for Milwaukee, but the majority of their players are traveling here. I know some didn't get in until 1:30 a.m. last night, so the home field advantage is not really going to be working in Milwaukee's favor. It's more of a away game for both teams.
Not only an away game, but both teams are short-staffed of sorts today. Atlanta playing with 16 and Milwaukee with 18. We'll see how it goes. The pull is up, and on we go. It looks like Nolik picking up. Centering to Walker. To Madison Moore on the far sideline. Bobbling and a drop.
A devastating drop. Truly not how you want to start off your game. But Atlanta's got to be thankful for that.
Atlanta working from the sideline. Sam Lee with the disc, looking for a reset. Resets to the middle.
Good defense from Milwaukee here. Tight on their resets.
Brooke Hartman with the disc. Oh, and a drop. The gift is returned. Milwaukee back on offense. Nolik picks up, centers it to Aaron Schroeder. To Moore. And a big hug goes up. Floats a little bit, but it's going to be complete. Right outside the end zone. 7 yards to go. Back to Schroeder. Big swing towards the middle of the field. Back to Walker. To Nolik. Hammer time. High release, and that is a Milwaukee score, 1-0.
1-0. You got to love the confidence from this Milwaukee team. You see they're not afraid to be throwing these over the tops, these hammer looks. Truly, you can tell that this is a veteran team.
Yep, with no wind, veterans typically do pretty well.
Yeah. Who would have guessed?
Well, not you, because you are certainly not a veteran, so you would not have guessed.
On my way, Pavel. You know, Atlanta's got to be kicking themselves in the foot right now. They had that opportunity. They were on the doorstep. They had the disc in hand. But, you know, great teams, they leave that in the past. They go forward, and they grind out. We'll see if Atlanta can get their first hold of the game on their first offensive possession. And you got to wonder how hungry is this Milwaukee D-line going to be? You see Coach Bethany on the field right now giving some inspiration, some clear direction. Truly, great teams are only as good as their coach. And you have to love that they're getting this instruction. Robin Fenning also with the pull. Truly another one of the greats.
Pull goes up, travels about 75 yards. Synergy picking it up to number 9, Sojo Hokari. A little bit of a missed throw there. A little too far for Lisa Fitton. Robin picks up. Shoots it. A little bit too far. Just out of reach.
Unorthodox read there, I'll say, by that cutter. Generally, you never want to do the full 360 turn. I do see the vision from Robin. And you got to wonder, oh, Milwaukee gets it right back.
Right outside the end zone now, 10 yards to go. Fenning is going to pick it up. It's going to be a vertical stack, Jason. What do you think they're going to do here? If you had to guess.
If I had to guess, I would say they're going to run some end zone, keep the disc in the hands of their top players.
Centers the disc to number 87. Pruka to, can't see, back to Pruka.
Yeah, Pruka truly lethal in these handler spaces.
Robin around, and that's a break.
That is a goal.
Milwaukee 2, Atlanta 0.
Yeah, Atlanta seems a little frazzled right now. You're not really sure what's going on. They're not 100% clicking. The looks are there. It's just some execution errors. You really hope that they can find their rhythm, find their stride. Coach is coming out to the line. Hopefully he can give some good inspiration to this team, get them back on track.
We have 9:26 remaining here in the first quarter. The wind, we said in the intro the wind wouldn't be a huge factor, but it seems like a couple of those throws in the last point popped up a little bit on Atlanta. Maybe it is more of a factor than we give it credit for.
Yeah, when we were on the field, we were talking with the Milwaukee coach earlier, and apparently this field is notorious for having swirly, unpredictable wind. So while it might not be super strong, it is, I think that unpredictability is going to factor into a lot of turnovers.
Now, this looks like the Milwaukee O-line coming out to play defense. Interesting strategy by Coach Ladane.
Yeah, you see Sarah Nolik, Madison Moore, two players that have typically been on O for this Milwaukee team.
Synergy.
Good defense by Caitlin Tian.
Now back in the sideline. Now we're back in end zone. Number 6, Willie Wilson. Around the end zone again, number 23, Sourbeer.
Oh, a dangerous throw from Atlanta, but it does pay off.
Looks like a
pick was called. It seems like Moore on her, on the cutter who would have scored there, Natalie Wilson.
into the end zone, and that's a score.
Atlanta is on the board. That was the calm, collected offense that we hope to see more of today. Atlanta really moved that disc down. Milwaukee had some good pressure, but it just wasn't quite enough, and Atlanta was just connecting with their easy options.
All down that sideline too, though. Jam it down to jam hole.
Jam it down the jam hole.
We're going to jam it down that sideline. We're not going to swing it, because why would you swing it if you can just score it, right?
Paul, if there's one thing I learned from you, it's how not to swing the disc. You got to wonder
if that's way too. I told you that in confidence. Never swing the disc. If there are any youth players out there listening to this stream, welcome. Swing the disc, and you will be rewarded with assists and goals, because that's why we play the game.
Alternatively, just practice your offhanded scuba and then I guarantee you can potentially make any team in the world.
Please ignore that. Jason, your color commentary, but this is too colorful. Looks like Milwaukee's D-line now going to play offense. The pull goes up.
We talking to the coach earlier, we do know that they're going to be doing some unorthodox lines, but I guess we weren't quite expecting this. Due to the shorter numbers, they might just be on a more even playing rotation.
And the pull goes out of bounds. Fennig will center it on the 30.
Georgia Boscher, with the initiating cut, has the disc. Oh,
She sends it. Green light.
I truly can say no one was surprised by that throw, knowing who had the disc in hand.
To Pruka. Pruka to Fennig. Just outside the end zone. They should probably swing the disc here, huh? Nope.
Or
just score.
They can just get a goal.
If they can score a goal?
Honestly, why would you give someone else the stats, Pavel?
Jareen Taylor with the goal. Milwaukee 3. Atlanta 1.
Yeah. Really, Atlanta needs to be providing a little bit more pressure on the Milwaukee offense. We saw at 2 players open deep, one completely unguarded, and that wasn't even the one who caught the disc. You got to wonder if it was a blown matchup or what the strategy was there. We know Atlanta was trying to give some different looks on D due to the experience on this Milwaukee team, but I'm not sure if that was necessarily the right one to give there.
I would love Atlanta, their next D point, to just force Milwaukee out, everyone, and make them put it and make them complete hucks consistently. I feel like that's one of the best ways to generate easy turnovers, especially later in the game. So Q2, if I'm coach of Atlanta, I would force everyone out.
Yeah.
Make Georgia Boscher beat me with her throws consistently.
Because you know that the throwers on this team are going to throw no matter what. If the look's there or not, we've seen them throw these hard shots.
The greenest of lights.
Greenest of lights.
That's an 80-yard pull. Sinigini, center it. Number 23. Sour beer. Back to Sinigini. To Lisa Fitton. Staying in the center of the field. To Sour beer. Oh, and an unfortunate drop. Another unfortunate drop, huh?
Very unfortunate. I thought there might have been a call there, but I respect the no call.
Moore with the disc. Sends it up. This goes up, and it's going to get caught. Yes, it is.
Honestly, the swagger from Jacqueline Jarek, a.k.a. JJ, with the walk-off before the completion, you have to respect it. Tien had steps. She trusted her receiver, and she gets put it out to space.
Love seeing that, don't you?
Oh, you love the trust.
You love
gotta
seeing
love
that.
the trust.
The trust, especially for a break.
As this is the swagger and confidence that Milwaukee will hopefully soon be known for.
Looks like the Atlanta O-line is going to stay back on and play another point. Doesn't look like a lot of substitutions. Oh, there might be 1 or 2 substitutions here, but mainly the same O-line coming back.
Yeah, the structure on that Atlanta O-line, there were times where it wasn't necessarily quite as organized as you ideally would hope, but I still think the main issue is just some of these execution errors. Discs either popping up a little too much or hands just not quite connecting as they should.
Yeah. Welcome to the Midwest. Do you think it's going to be a nice game, nice weather? Well, the joke is on you.
Joke is on me.
Sometimes the Midwest plays cruel, cruel jokes.
Yeah, sometimes it's a true mid-place to live, so they say.
That's a good one, Jason. Did you write that one up?
I wish I did.
Oh, okay.
I wish I did. I wish I could claim I was as prepared for this as my co-commentator.
I have a binder. This is true. The poll's going up. And we're live.
Yeah, there truly must be more wind than I originally anticipated when you have great throwers like that not pulling past the brick mark.
Sinigini and Hokari down the sideline to number 23.
Are we going to bounce it?
Sour beer. Back to Hokari. Swings it back to the middle. Matthews with the disc. Back to Hokari. Back to Sour beer. Oh, put it. Yes.
Oh,
Sinigini going deep.
Oh.
Right outside the end zone. Lefty flick into the end zone. Atlanta 2. Milwaukee 4.
I know not the highlight of that play, but that lefty flick from Sinigini just looked so crisp in these conditions, as well as that huck really right in a spot where only Sinigini could grab it. You know, that's the confidence boost that Atlanta needs right now. Sometimes when you're down, you just got to jack it and hope that it works out. Oh, yeah. Very crisp, very nice rotation, great control, great grab. Such a very veteran composure from such a young team. Gotta wonder if this hold is the confidence that Atlanta needs to get down there, apply pressure, and then get their first break of the game.
6:35 remaining in the first quarter. Pretty high-scoring affair so far.
Pretty high, yeah. These offensive possessions, say what you want about them, they're not long. There might be a couple turnovers, but they punch it in quick.
Pull goes up, and it goes about 45 yards. Looks like Schroeder's going to pick up the disc. Swing it to Walker. A zone from Atlanta. So this is the little variety in defensive looks that we were told earlier in the day. Oh, and too far for Nolik. Atlanta gets a disc. 40 yards to go.
Got to be feeling real good about that zone right now. I don't know if the zone caused that turn or not, but I think we're going to be seeing more of it this game.
Matsunaga over the disc. Looking nothing. Has to reset it down to the middle.
Oh, tough grab.
Number 32, Michelle Yang. Number 4, Liz Leon. Just too much edge on that throw, huh?
A little too much edge, not out enough. Her receiver truly had no chance to make a play on that.
Nolik picks up, centers a disc to Schroeder. The zone, they're staying with their zone, Atlanta. They're going to stay with it for the whole time. Looks like I don't expect them to crumble, and see if they can generate another throwaway.
Well, they've been close to 2 already so far this this possession.
Schroeder, green light, boosts it. It's going to be completed.
Disc in the hands of Jacqueline Jarek.
Serve the disc now, just outside the end zone. Swings it to Schroeder. Inside break, back to serve. That's a Monarchs goal.
That is a Monarchs goal. Schroeder with the huck, truly a beauty, and the assist. Great point for Schroeder here.
Milwaukee 5, Soul 2. We have a little bit less than 5 minutes remaining. The crowd is getting into it. It's warm. People are wearing hats and sunscreen. Like I said before, the first warm day in 6 months in the Midwest. So,
oh, yeah.
A good crowd.
Yeah, Schroeder, truly a player, I think can really do it all. Offensively, good speed, good bids, and
Makes
good
great
throws.
highlights.
Great highlights.
Love the highlights.
Almost makes me wish I got into video editing to make some highlight reels.
There's still time, Jason. I can teach you.
Oh, you're never too late to learn, so they say. Yeah, 5-2 Milwaukee here. Atlanta yet to get a break, but they have been generating a good amount of turns. They're just not necessarily converting them. What if you're the coach on there, what are you going to be telling this D-line next time they go out there?
Do the same thing. Run a zone, generate another turnover, and then just be really stingy with the disc. Put it in. You need that break. You cannot go a full quarter without a break.
Yeah.
So do not throw anything you're not comfortable with, and execute short throws until you get it down and score. Sinigini now with the disc. Oh, she's going to launch it.
Oh, wow.
And that's going to be a score?
Oh, my God.
Oh, that's a score. Yeah, that's a 6-yard hook from Leah Sinigini.
Was that even was that break side? Was that a break throw? What was the
I don't
fourth
think the
for
mark was
Monarchs?
even on.
Yeah.
Maybe we get a replay of that, but that was just a lefty, beautiful flick to an uncovered receiver.
The receiver, there was like if that wasn't in the breadbasket, I think that could have been a D. I think that really was a.
Yeah, there's no mark. Just a monster hook.
That's a throw that not a lot of people in this division can make. Really, really pinpoint on the spot.
Number 10, Grace Roth with the goal there. Milwaukee 5, Atlanta 3.
Yeah, that's, you see, you know, Atlanta really needed to score that quickly, get their D-line back out there, give them a chance to break.
You know, some say that one pass score is the fastest way you can score. But those people will be wrong because you can always get a Callahan.
That's always get a Callahan. Pavel, every time I think I mastered the game, you just provide new, exhilarating insights for me.
And that's why I'm a commentator.
Oh, kissing the guns right here, Atlanta. Number 39, whose name escapes me for the moment. Actually, Brooke Hartman, truly a showwoman. Also a great pull, too. One of the further ones we've seen.
No look with the disc. And look at that.
Yeah.
Another zone. It's like I should be coaching or something. No look. Now, what does Milwaukee need to do here to beat this zone?
You know what? It seems like their strategy right now is to go spread, let the over-the-tops and throughs goes as opposed to just punching it in. And in this wind and with their throwers, I think that's fine. They're really able to spread it out, hit long, wide shots.
That's the wide shot that's going to generate a turnover right there. That's exactly what they want.
Yeah.
Nola comes down with it down in the middle, and now they crumbled.
Now they've
We're
crumbled.
back in man. Schroeder faking.
Nolik, coming off of a shoulder surgery, really, you've seen her gain her confidence from the last few games, ready to regain that consistency and opening up the field with her throws that we've come to know and love throughout her career, but has not been as consistent in the early parts of it.
Montenegro now to Schroeder, I believe. Yes. Hammer over the top. Deed by number 91.
You see, this is exactly what Atlanta is relying on. These more experienced players, older players, to get a little bit bored and try to end it quickly with their throws. And that's whenever they come in to make a play.
Matsunaga with the D there. And a timeout called, I believe, by the Atlanta coach very loudly. I heard it. The observers heard it, and it was awarded to them.
Yes, you really.
That's the way to call timeouts.
You gotta love the confidence.
You gotta love the confidence. You have to run down the sideline. You can't whisper it. You gotta be loud with your timeout calls.
I think that is one of the underrated things about coaches is, one, just the swagger that you have when calling the timeouts. Truly, we need more of that in all divisions.
Well, Jason, hopefully some of this swagger that you have will rub off on all these coaches here on the far sideline 60 yards away from us.
God willing, Pavel. God willing. It's, it truly makes good TV.
Timeout here. Again, in the Premier Ultimate League, each team gets 2 timeouts per half. They are allowed to sub everyone and anyone, which is unique to the semi-professional game. A gift, you know, as an offensive player. I love coming off of a timeout if, you know, we don't score it and the defense has a chance to break. I would love to go off and not play defense. So a true gift. Thank you to Semi-Professional Ultimate.
Really, the D-line always seems to be getting the short end of these timeout sticks. You go, you get a D, and then all of a sudden your reward is get off the field. Make room for our big throwers.
Synergy now picking up the disc at the cone. Centers it immediately.
Oh, great D there. Is it going to be rewarded? Number 34, Mackenzie Carpenter. Truly phenomenal heads-up play. A lot of the Ds we've seen so far have been poor throws. That one was good defense, high IQ field awareness, and good closing speed. You know that the coaching staff feels good about putting Carpenter on the field after a play like that.
Conversely, I'm sure the Atlanta coaching staff feels really bad about throwing it into a block opportunity right after a timeout.
I know hindsight is 20/20, but what were your thoughts on that timeout, Pavel? If you were the coach, would you have still taken it?
Absolutely. I mean, you are trapped on a cone. You just play defense. You want to punch this break in. Again, you've gone the whole quarter without getting a break. It is 6-3 now. It seems like a backbreaker there.
Seems like a backbreaker. That's got to be super disheartening for Atlanta. Let's see how they respond to this adversity.
3 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. And it looks like the D-line is going to play D.
You know what? You love that. You love to be able to kind of, see what's on the field and understand why it's happening. When D-lines go play D, truly reaffirms my faith in my ability to understand the game.
Sinagini in the middle of the disc. Hokari back to Sinagini. Little flip.
Oh, wow.
To the middle. Nice catch. Oh!
Is this going to be a play? Oh! Phenomenal D there. Phenomenal D. You see athleticism on display in its finest. There was a bit of a gap. There was a shot, but Milwaukee just covered it, closed the gap, and made a phenomenal play.
Fennig now picking up the disc right outside her end zone.
All right, let's see what Austin Pruka does offensively after getting this block
You know,
for
my
us.
bet is that Pruka's going to score this goal.
Yeah,
She's going to get the bookends.
I think that's a fair bet.
Back to Pfennig. Swings it to the far sideline. Back to Pruka. Oh, she's going to send it. Down the sideline.
Wow. A great point there from Milwaukee.
I believe that was Watson Watson threw that assist, and let's see who caught it.
We'll see if we can see it on the replay here.
Yeah.
Atlanta really reeling right now. Oh, wow. Number
Rolling.
12, yes.
Yep. Rolling
Keelan
with the goal.
Also known as Bruns in some circles, so I hear. Played with BFG and is going to continue playing with them. Good nationals experience on a team already filled with national experience. Milwaukee seems to be getting a little not content. They still have a fire despite being up by 4 now. Let's see if this D-line maintains that fire and intensity. And Atlanta, you know, I don't hate it. I don't hate the confidence, the shots they're taking. As I said, they're a young team. Worst case scenario, this is a very good learning experience. Then we're going to be seeing those shots get hit later on.
Schroeder of the PUL. Sinigini with the disc in the middle of the field. Oh, a flick goes too far. Milwaukee with the disc. Moore. Back to Moore. Going every other now. Nolik with the disc. 20 yards outside the end zone.
Moore completely unguarded.
Looks like a big call.
Makes sense that Moore was unguarded.
You know, when the two fists come out pointing up, you know it's a big call.
Or
we all know the universal observer hand signals, right, Jason?
You're telling me that's been a pick call and people weren't just flexing at me this whole time?
Nobody would flex on you, Jason.
That makes so much more sense.
Violent crime. Back to Nolik. Looks like there was a pick call that affected. We are 15 yards outside the end zone. Nolik looking to reset the disc. Decides not to do it and instead throws it away.
Yeah.
80 yards to go for Atlanta.
You see,
They really need this hold. Oh, and instead, they drop it.
I'm honestly unsure what even happened there. I guess it was just a drop by the receiver. I look away for a moment, and the disc was on the ground. Milwaukee's got to be thankful for having this disc right back in front of the end zone. You got to wonder if they're going to take it a little bit more seriously now with the disc in hand.
Nolik, high release back end. Another throwaway.
Yeah, you know what? I respect the confidence. Great shooters miss 3 shots in a row and they go for the 4th. So
Jason, you've already complimented the confidence of Atlanta, and they're down by 4. Now you're complimenting the confidence of Milwaukee. They just turned over twice.
Yeah. Well, I suppose.
Maybe
I suppose at some point confidence needs to take a backseat to a reason.
Execution, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, almost a phenomenal lead there by number 8.
So the buzzer went off for the first quarter, so the possession is going to continue until Atlanta turns it over. Unique rule. Sinigini, deep.
Honestly, I don't hate the look. That's a good matchup. A devastating drop, more or less uncontested.
And that is the end of the quarter. The possession ends. 7-3, Monarchs over Soul. Any takeaways from the first quarter, Jason?
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of these looks that were working earlier on. Not a lot of aren't working now. The wind might be picking up a little bit. We're no longer as disciplined with our throws, and it's just really lowering the quality overall and lowering the possession. Really, people just got to force themselves to be disciplined, possess this disc, and punch it in.
Great. Well, we will see you back here in just a little while. Welcome back. Week 7, Premier Ultimate League, Milwaukee versus Atlanta here in Wauwatosa. Beautiful day. I want to apologize to the Schrader family. It is Aaron Schrader, not Aaron Schroeder. Jason, what are you looking forward to in the second quarter?
I'm really looking forward to Atlanta finding that next gear on defense. We've seen them close to making a lot of plays, but not quite finishing it out. There's been a couple times when Milwaukee just gave them the disc, but I want to see Atlanta get that disc for starters.
I just want to see Atlanta score.
I want to see
starters.
their D-line score specifically. It's tough coming out of a quarter with no breaks. As someone who's done it before, it can be disheartening. But really, you got to hope that the Atlanta team uses that as fuel. For the Milwaukee team, I think their keys to success are just consistency.
Yeah.
Staying disciplined with the disc. Something I'm sure they could learn a few things by watching your highlights, Pavel.
Fennig with the pull out of bounds. Sinagini will center the disc at the 30.
Sinagini's really been doing a good job opening up the field with her throws.
Pruko on the mark.
That's a good holster.
Back to Sinagini in the middle.
Oh.
Nice find there. Crossfield, backhand. Now the flick, outside in, a little too far from Fitton.
That's really a spot where you can't be throwing turns. When you're that close in front of the red zone, you got to punch it in. You can't be throwing anything that's less than 90, 95%.
It's the second time that we've seen an outside-in forehand into that end zone become a throwaway for Atlanta.
Yeah.
Fennig with the disc, picking it up to Pruka in the middle. Back to Fennig. I'll send it. Green light. Yep. It's going to go.
A little short.
No. It's perfect.
But it will connect. Bruns throwing that disc over to Erica Watson.
Oh. The fists are up at 90-degree angles. We know that universally that's a pick call.
Or flex o'clock.
Looks like the disc will stay with Pruka. Oh no, Fennig slips.
Needs a dump.
But they still complete it. That was quite the cut there.
Is this gotta wonder what the call is here.
Looks like Coach Ladane is going to take a timeout here.
Pavel, thoughts on this timeout?
I don't like it at all. You just had a whole end of quarter break to talk about stuff.
Yeah.
There's 10 minutes and 11 seconds remaining. Not quite sure you want to take a timeout there. It's unnecessary. And here we see the replay, and Fennig gets it. She slips, but she gets it regardless. And the timeout was called before Pruka released it. So the disc, I believe, will be on the sideline here, right on the 18-yard line.
Yeah, I see the vision from the coach. Your main reset handler trips. But, yeah, I agree with you. You're up by 4 right now. You have 10 minutes on the clock in the second quarter. You need to save that timeout for a rainy day. I know it doesn't look like it with this weather, but you never know what's around the corner.
Well, it's not rain, Jason. Rain is not around the corner. It is a beautiful day. I can't emphasize this enough, and I will say it at least 20 more times on this broadcast. So strap in if you don't like weather talk, because I love the sun, and we don't get it enough.
Truly, truly. We do be vitamin D deficient sometimes out here in the Midwest.
Looks like Walker's going to pick it up for the Monarchs. Taps in. Schrader up line.
Oh, Nolik trying to be a reset.
Oh, no. Floats.
Oh.
And a foul call.
Oh, I'm not sure about that one.
Sir doesn't lie.
Sir doesn't.
Sir wouldn't lie.
Well, Pavel, I know you don't lie, so I guess by extension that must apply to Sir after that statement. We'll see what
none of that was true.
We'll see what the observers say here.
Looks like they're going to go to observers. They have 10 seconds to go to the observer. The observer says no foul.
I do think that's the right call.
Just snatched up from the air.
Yeah, disc looking a little bent, but you know, these elite throwers won't let that bother them.
Atlanta with 75 yards to go. We'll see what they can do. Looks like this is Atlanta's D-line.
Cut there.
And another huck. This one's going to be a completion.
God willing, and God was willing. We're making a throw.
Oh, please, God. No!
Oh, you really have to attack that disc. Oh, that's
Excuse the woe on the broadcast, but we really wanted Atlanta to score there. They had the numbers. Just unfortunately, the throw was a little bit underthrown, and Milwaukee gets a disc back.
This Atlanta red zone truly is heartbreaking for Atlanta fans out there.
Schrader with the disc now.
It looks like
Montenegro.
picking up, has it.
Back to Schrader.
Oh.
Oh, a big backhand. Break, but that's not going to be completed. Too far.
Yeah, I'm unsure about why you would throw the back in there and not the flick.
Brooke Hartman then over with the D. Picked it off. Let's see if Atlanta can actually score this this hold here.
Yeah. Surprisingly, they don't do too bad when they're trapped on the sideline.
They're swinging it.
They swing it well. They get it off. You know, like they listen to some of your tips, Pavel. But where they really struggle is that red zone. And I suppose with some of these catches.
Back to Schrader. Milwaukee with this now. And this is for another break.
Moore has the disc middle of the field.
Milwaukee a little slow getting to their end zone offense set. Now they're set in their vertical stack. No movement whatsoever. People are looking confused. Schrader puts it up. Big inside out. Bailout throw. It is a score, but doesn't feel good, does it?
Yeah, I know that's going to be a goal for Milwaukee, but as you said, does not feel good. Some rough-looking handler movement. You see two handlers moving to the right spot. Really a bailout option.
A nice bailout option. Let's get that right. You know,
yeah,
let's
of
get
course,
it straight
of
there.
course.
But no, but it's just not active enough there.
Yeah,
as the offense.
You got to love some of that individual performance, but that system really was crumbling.
8-3 Monarchs.
Yeah, Atlanta they really need to figure out how to score in the red zone. Sometimes looks might be open, but I think they just have to wait for the whole stack to get down there and then run it. Like once you go fast, you know what they say, got to go slow.
Just weave.
Just weave.
Do they do this slow handler weave into the end zone?
Yes.
Just like every other team.
Pretty much like all of their aways or all their throwaways have been on away shots in the red zone.
20-yard chip shots.
Yeah, like you don't need that there.
It looks like the regular D-line for the Monarchs set to put. Look at Georgia. Bosher is going to pull it. Big outside in.
Oh, that's going to have some roll on it too. Or not.
Sinagini picking up. Looks like a side stack. It's going to be a crash. Yep, crash down there. Perfect. Unfortunately, cannot hit number 9 there. Hokari. Obviously, the look was there for her. A backing gets picked off by none other but Pruka, I believe, number 87. Georgia with the disc now. Sorry, Bosher with the disc now. Carpenter with the disc. Shoots it to Pruka. Score.
Pruka.
Another break for the Milwaukee Monarchs.
Yeah. Really, if I'm Milwaukee's D-line, my main goal is just to get Atlanta to throw more than 6 throws. After then, we've been seeing that it's just going to either be thrown at a defender or just a throwaway.
Are you suggesting a zone, Jason Valley?
I'm suggesting whatever you have to do to make them throw it many times, you do it. If it's force under hard, give them these under options. Or if it's throw a zone, do that. We've also been seeing some clam looks that have worked well.
But this chip shot that we just see on the replay is exactly the same chip shot that Atlanta did not convert 3-4 times at this point. So it's...
Well, that also kind of shows the tale of the two cities. We have Milwaukee here, older team. They've probably been throwing a little bit longer. And then you have Atlanta, a younger team, still some young guns out here just slinging. And maybe they're going to grow into that role, similar to Milwaukee, or maybe they're going to adjust their strategy and play more of a conservative game to punch it in. It's really only time's going to tell here what Atlanta does. But we do hope that they're going to have a bit more success in this red zone because it can be heartbreaking to watch.
Their offense is flowing great.
They're
just
getting
the end zone that just needs a little bit of work.
They get it down. They're getting it down the field. They have the disc in tough spots and they get it out. But then they just get a little too impatient.
Sinagini and Hokari are working very well together. They're just driving the offense now. Back now. Center to Sinagini. Looking for Hokari. Over to Matthews. Synergy.
Oh.
Looks like a
Yeah.
foul.
Seems a reasonable foul call.
Do you think if JJ lays out there and avoids contact on the outside shoulder, no foul?
I think there's potential, but at that angle, it's going to be super tough to get to that disc first from behind.
Very dangerous, too.
Very dangerous. You can tangle up some feet.
Any vertical motion that you have going outside shoulder, you will go straight into the knees of the person that you're defending.
I think there are very few players in any division who could make that bid and avoid contact from that angle.
Looks like a contested foul going back to Synergy.
Yeah. Generally, if I were 72 there, I would bid on that inside shoulder. That would give you a far better chance to avoid the contact.
Hukari. Nice reset defense there from Nolik. Looks like Milwaukee is just sagging their handler defenders into their lanes, forcing Atlanta to swing the disc.
Which is a great call on their part, I would say. Very high IQ decision, whoever came up with that.
Well, I mean, probably Coach Ladane. Fitton, too far. Intercepted by Jarrett. Moore on the sideline. Centers it to Nolik. Sir, 10 yards out. Swings it to Nolik in the center of the field now. See if Milwaukee can run an end zone offense here that actually works. More of the disc, sideline. High release will not work. Just a little behind the intended receiver there.
A bold shot there, a bold shot there.
We do not need bold shots in the end zone.
We don't. We need boring shots in the end zone.
We need boring shots in the end zone. Atlanta down in the center of the field, 80 yards to work up now. Let's see if they can do it. Looks like Milwaukee downfield defenders are just playing under, and that is a throw to no one. Unfortunately, a miscommunication.
A miscommunication. You really hate to see that.
Is it devastating, Jason? Would you say that was devastating?
I would say I'm devastated.
Are you devastated
right now?
Great.
As someone who is like an on-partial observer, I find my heart going out for Atlanta right now. We see Nolik with the disc again.
Sir initiating.
You see, that's just a good possession throw there.
Swings to Walker, I believe.
It's the second pick call we've seen on Moore there in the red zone.
Walker. Lefty. Nolik.
Good throw.
Just outside here. Nothing fancy here now. Resets to Walker. And that is a drop.
Yeah, that's a heartbreaking again drop from Milwaukee. Not something you expect to see on that throw.
On the other hand, they are bleeding some clock here. We have only 4.5 minutes left of this half. A large deficit, 9-3, 6-goal deficit. It's not the worst.
If I'm the Milwaukee coaching staff, I'm really happy with this point.
Well, if you're a Milwaukee coaching staff, you have 18 players. More efficiency would be nice to save the legs.
But at the end of the day, they still do outnumber this Atlanta team.
By 2, indeed. The handlers of Atlanta just working it down, getting no continuation cuts. Excuse me, they're not hitting any continuation cuts downfield, swinging it between Sinajini and Hukari.
Oh, that's a little too bold there on that throw. It's going to be a turn.
Moore picks up to Nolik. Jarek.
Oh, wow.
And I have nothing else to say now. That's the four end zone turnovers.
Yeah, we're really seeing some patterns here. You got to wonder if there's going to be any adjustments from either team on how these turnovers are happening and what they're going to do to change it. From Milwaukee here, it does seem that they are kind of crowding the disc a lot of times as well. Like there's not a lot of space there to be opening or getting open.
If I had 5 cents for every flick, chip shot, 10-yard away shot in the end zone, I would have, I think, 75 cents now, and I would be a rich man.
A richer man, to be sure.
Yeah, I mean, 3/4. So if people could stop doing that, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, but then how are you going to be getting your 5 cents?
For what?
You got to pay off, for the throwaways, for the turnovers.
You got to get a block.
Okay.
Timeout, Atlanta.
Yeah, Milwaukee Honestly, I feel like the longer the points they have, the better for them. It's going to be tough for a team to mount a comeback that's tired. And then honestly, the more clock you burn, the larger that gap looks. 9-3 is a very interesting score considering about how fast we were scoring in the first half. We're really seeing that drop down now. You got to wonder if it's legs, the temperature, or some combination of mental fatigue as well.
This is an interesting 5-person horizontal stack from Atlanta. Can't wait to see what they do.
Let's go, defense!
Number 58, O'Neal with the disc, swings it. Leon with the disc. Hartman.
Oh, wow.
Yang. Yang puts it up. Incomplete.
Honestly, that was a bewildering throw. It seemed like we were staring down that barrel far too long to huck it.
Pfennig with the deep shot, and that's beautiful. It's going to be complete. That's a score. Number 7, Kennedy with the goal.
Yeah.
Robin Pfennig with the flick. Green light shot.
The difference between those two hucks, besides execution, was that Pfennig looked at her target, then threw it. While on that throw before, it seemed like we're just staring down that barrel far too long. She gets it, she lines up her shot and throws almost seamless, in stride, liquid whip of sorts, some would call it.
A liquid whip.
A liquid whip.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is colorful language, Jason. We love to hear it here on the commentary. Week 7, Premier Ultimate League. You are watching the Milwaukee Monarchs play at Atlanta Soul.
Yeah. 10-3 to Milwaukee, just breaking double digits. You really got to hope, though, that despite this lead, they remain disciplined and they learn something from this experience this quarter every point. This is a team that rarely gets to play together, rarely gets to practice. Every minute they're on the field should be considered as a gift and an opportunity to further improve.
That's right. So this Milwaukee squad, mainly from Chicago, Madison, and Milwaukee. 3 separate communities coming together, playing some sick ultimate.
Yeah, I do not believe they've been able to practice for the past month or so. So this, as we said, playing together, immense value. Atlanta, on the other hand, all local talent, building up that community.
Synergy now breaks it to the sideline. Sour beer.
Oh, wow.
Still on that sideline. They're going to jam it down that sideline.
They are, which makes sense when you have this many handlers crowding this reset space right now.
Wilson looking for the reset. Hikari. Back to Sinejini. And she puts it. And it's too far. The difference between that huck and the huck that we saw from Pfennig is that Pfennig's receiver started her cut much earlier, and she had more room to go. That huck right there, the receiver was already in the space that the throw was attacking.
Yeah.
And that's why it's a turnover.
Yeah, whenever you're trying to throw those spots, whenever you're trying to throw those hucks to a spot where someone already is, that's such a small window. Defense can run up and make a play. It really is a lot easier to throw someone out onto space. Great point block from number 9. Yeah.
Sinejini. Dumps to Matthews. Now, 3-person handler set in the end zone here for Atlanta.
Oh, good grab.
Hikari, great catch there. Flips into the end zone, but it's too far. That is a haunted end zone. Nobody wants to score there.
Haunted, someone.
Haunted,
Yeah. Honestly, what's it called? You don't love that. No team's got to love that. They can't really punch it in at a higher consistency on either side, regardless of the end zone. You, as a coach, want to be able to put somebody on a gravel road and say, you got to score here, and they score if it's a red zone. Honestly devastating that we're not seeing more consistency in these spaces. But despite that throwaway, I was very impressed with number 9, Hikari, this point. Really a dynamic player, good upbeat, and good hands. Able to get open well and grab contested shots.
Atlanta this weekend missing number 99, Marie Perivier, the all-star from the University of Georgia. Lots of slack that needs to be picked up by other players, and Hikari doing an excellent job so far.
Yeah, I would say so. I would say so. Someone who's got a lot of upside to their career, a lot of upside to their growth, but already in a very good spot. Someone who can take on a lot of that burden, as we've been seeing.
Looks like the Milwaukee O-line coming out there, trying to go a little bit upwind, I believe. Nolik picks up the disc.
We have a lot of shooters here on this Milwaukee line, really making me count down to when we see our first huck. Phenomenal off-handler defense there from Atlanta.
Schrader looking more. Still on that sideline. 55 yards to go.
Oh.
Jarek. 40 yards to go. Centers it to Nolik. Schrader getting open. Great handler cut there. She puts it. Looking for Jarek. What a catch.
Wow.
She flips it to the end zone. And that's a goal.
Wow.
Number 14. Montenegro.
Say what you want about that shot selection, but that's just entertaining ultimate right there. Watching that grab, defenders falling down like bowling pins, this is why we watch the game. You know what?
That's one opinion, for sure. Here's a replay. Schrader there with a great flick huck to Jarek. Double coverage, but she goes up and snatches it from the air. Thank you, I'll take that. It's my lunch, not your lunch. And that's a goal.
Yeah. A true trust throw there. And it paid off in this case.
Now you have 55 seconds remaining, Jason. It's 11-3. What does Atlanta need to do to score and really, get some momentum going into the second half?
Honestly, the way that these plays have been going on from Milwaukee, Atlanta needs to find a way to get themselves the clear throwing lane and then just send this deep. Right now, they need to get the momentum back, get that feeling back. They're going a little downwind, as we know, stretch out this field, because we know, based on these past couple points, that if it's over 6 throws, it's going to be a turn. So if you're going to throw a turn, throw a farther field turn.
Conversely, you don't want to turn it over with 5 or 3 seconds remaining, because then the Monarchs will have the possession until they don't until they turn it over. The clock doesn't matter in the second quarter; it only matters in the fourth quarter. Big pull by Fennig.
Yeah, that is a
Kari
good
with the
pull.
catch to Sinigini.
Atlanta's coming down a little bit.
Oh,
of a
and she
clam.
puts it just as Jason told her to, and that's gonna.
That's gonna work.
Oh my goodness! And that is an Atlanta score. A little lucky there, huh?
A little lucky, but you know what they say: the great ones pick luck over skill every time.
Fennig there not able to mac the disc down. Instead, the disc floats up
Yeah. Honestly, I do believe that
to Wilson, I believe, and flips into the end zone.
if we didn't touch that disc, it would have just been a turnover. That hit made it travel the extra distance
Here's
to the cutter.
Here's the Sinigini on the replay. Big OI. Fennig touches it, max it,
Yeah.
and Wilson cleans it up.
Wilson cleans it up. If that disc hits the ground or if Henning doesn't touch that, I think that's just a turn.
And that is Sour Beer to number 10, Roth.
Yeah. Gotta love a good play from Sour Beer there. Following the action, really underrated on
That's
these
all
hooks.
effort. All effort right
All
there.
heart, some would say.
Belief, confidence that it's going to be completed no matter what.
You have faith in your teammates, and then your teammates will reward you for it.
Now, 11-4, Milwaukee over Atlanta. 33 seconds remaining. Now, if I'm Coach LaDonna here, do not turn the disc over. I'm telling the O-line, just keep it for 30 seconds. Play, keep away, play some mini. Just whatever you do not turn this disc over.
Yeah, 28 seconds on the clock. You just can't. You can't give them that opportunity.
Do not give Atlanta another opportunity.
Interesting look here, though, from Atlanta. It looks like it's like a clammy zone, a 3-person cup, a 3-3-1.
Walker.
These throws have to be tighter than the coaching staff would like.
Nolwick. And the buzzer goes off, so after this turnover, the half will be over. Let's see if... and there's the halftime drop by Sir. And that will bring us to halftime. It is Milwaukee 11, Atlanta 4. Anything you want to say before we go to break here, Jason?
Yeah, you saw a little bit more fire from Atlanta this time, and Milwaukee got a little bit sloppier as well, but they still were able to manage to increase their gap. You're really excited for this next half to see what happens.
I am, and we will see you after the break. Welcome back. Week 7 of the Premier Ultimate League. Milwaukee Monarchs versus the Atlanta Soul. I'm Paul Villanas, joined here by the one and only superstar, Jason Valley. Jason, how you doing?
Pavel, I'm doing so much better now that I'm out here in sunny Milwaukee, getting to watch some exciting Frisbee. Say whatever you want about this game, but we are not short of highlights. We've seen great throws, we've seen great catches, and we've seen some great Ds.
We've also seen some terrible end zone conversion. As much as I love highlights and highlight reels, I would love for Milwaukee to be a little bit more disciplined in their end zone, to convert these break opportunities and save their legs. You know, they're playing with 18, 17 players, so let's just be a little more efficient. What about Atlanta?
Yeah, 100% agree regarding Milwaukee. Atlanta, it's more of the same. They're really, really struggling in these end zone sets as well. They get the disc up there, they're moving fast, and they try to keep moving fast again. They throw that disc away on these away shots through traffic. And their hands, like, you can tell that this team is young. They have a high upside, but they also have a very high low side where they drop things that are right in their breadbasket. In this second half, you really hope that they can start to find themselves, find their confidence, and stop some of this Monarchs O while getting their O a bit more efficient.
Monarchs will start an offense. Walker picks up. Can't find Schrader.
Great
Schrader,
pull coverage from 32.
To Nolik. Looks like a zone look from Atlanta. Definitely worked twice or 3 times in the first half, I believe. So a smart move to come out with zone.
Now, the one time it did not work was that end of quarter situation, which they did get a turn. The quarter did just end.
A violation called on the mark by Nolik. Now, we did get some inside information during halftime that Sarah Nolik will be throwing a few more high-release backhands. So if you like watching exciting Ultimate, stay tuned.
Yeah.
Because high-release backhands coming up.
Yeah, you know what they say. Sometimes you shoot because you're hot. Other times you shoot to get hot. So
and it is hot out there, Jason.
It is hot. I'm kind of surprised she hasn't warmed up yet, but we'll see what happens as time progresses.
Chisel by Walker. To Nolik. More chiseling. Still on that sideline by the hash marks. The zone is still active from Atlanta.
Yeah.
Schrader swings it. Walker. Montenegro.
On the sideline.
Nolik. Schrader. Moore. Now back on the other sideline now. Back to Moore. 45 yards to go. Nolik quarterbacking this offense against the zone. And they crumbled. Atlanta is now man-to-man, past half field. Sir. Inside break for a swing to Walker. Back to Sir. And she breaks the mark to Montenegro. Goal, Sir, Montenegro. It is Monarchs 12, Soul 4.
Yeah, something that we see in this first half with this Monarchs team is they were just getting open under, jamming up that 4 side all the way up the field. What we did see some adjustments from Atlanta, but now they're just getting beat on that mark. And we need to be a little bit better stopping that first look with the break side and then a little bit closer to the break side to pressure these.
You know what I really love there? End zone conversion.
End zone conversion.
By the Monarchs, they had a great vertical center stack.
Yep.
Nobody else besides the #1 in the stack moving. A beautiful throw.
Yeah.
A break. Easy money. That's the way end zone is played, right there. Take notes, youth. If there are any kids watching out there, again, I hope you are, and I hope you know how to play end zone after watching that point.
Oh, yeah. Everyone knows that I took some notes on that.
Well, you should, Jason, because you're very bad at end zone.
Well, I learned from the best, Pavel.
Not me.
Oh. We see...
You Chicago's finest.
Chicago's finest.
Jason Valley.
We see Milwaukee out here on defense. Atlanta, more or less the same O-line, you know, which I think is smart on their part. You need to get these people chemistry, reps together, because pressure makes diamonds, and we know they're seeing a lot of pressure today.
A deep pull by Fenig.
Deepest pull of the day.
Center to Sinigini. Hokari also back there. They're going to play patty cake to this sideline. Back in the middle to Hokari, to Sinigini. Hokari. Looks like there is not a lot of continuation. Like I said in the first half, not a lot of handler to cutter continues off swings or any even looks to get it more than 10 yards. But now we do. Number 6, Wilson.
Oh.
A little too short there.
Yeah, a tough throw there, a tough throw. By tough throw, I just because something's open, they don't always need to throw it. If you can't complete that, you might as well just dump. But that cutter was so much space on the break side. I understand the temptation.
Fennig picks up. No mark. Gets to rolling back to Fennig. Now she takes a deep shot. Flick going to the sideline. It is not going to be completed. A little too far, a little bit too wide.
This is kind of what you were talking about earlier, is if you're Atlanta, you force them out. You want to make their shooters throw, and then you're going to get the ball back like we just saw right there.
The issue with that strategy, Jason, is that you are down by 8, and now if you have to go 80 yards every time, it is going to be a little difficult to come back in this game.
But the I do think the flip side of that is you're not letting them throw 6 or 7 in cuts. Oh, wow. Great D there from
Rolling,
a.k.a. Buns.
Fennig to pick up.
All of a sudden, that huck doesn't look so bad after you gained all these yards back and you're knocking on the doorstep. Let's see if Milwaukee can execute in this end zone.
5 yards out on the sideline. Swings
Yeah.
to Carpenter. Looking for the end zone and a turnover. Nice D there by Hokari. Synergy picks up in the middle. 80 yards to go. It's going to be tough. Wilson.
Yeah, if I'm Atlanta, I get the disc in the hands of my shooters and I just let them crank right now.
Great cut there by Fitton. And she overshoots it just a bit. 50-yard line on the sideline. Fennig picks up. Let's see if she shoots it or if she's going to center it. What do you think, Jason?
Well,
Too late.
neither, it seems.
Rolling.
Oh, great D there from the star, Hokari.
Synergy picks up.
That's going to be a
And
shot.
it's going to be a shot. That's a beautiful shot right there. It's going to be completed.
Wow.
No defense. Good float. Let's see if they can punch it in here.
Great holster. I love that not hitting that continue there.
Fitton to Sour Beer. Hokari on the sideline, 5 yards away now. Hokari breaks it. She floats it up a little bit too much, and Fennig gets the D. The end zone conversion.
Yeah, you can't throw that
Continues
disc.
to be a bad thing.
Bad thing.
Bad.
Whenever you're giving them a chance to make plays like that, you can't be throwing the disc out that far to space in this end zone, especially based on your history so far this game.
Fennig to rolling now. Timeout called by the Monarchs. It's been a long point here.
Is that thoughts on this timeout? Do you support it?
Yes, it's been 3 turnovers. So I support this timeout. They're tired. I would be tired. I would be dead at this point. So, of course, please, coach, call a timeout. Get a new fresh 7 out there to score this.
Yeah. Yeah, let's
look at this replay here.
Yeah, as I said, too
a
much
little too
float,
much.
too much space.
Fennig rises above.
You have such a
lefty.
small window there. Yeah, I know that, as I said before, I really liked how that receiver caught the disc, didn't try to shoot it and score right away, but rather possessed. Like, that's the type of Chilio you really need there in the red zone. If your conversion isn't above 90%, as I said, you keep that disc. You find an easier option.
95, 99%, 90%.
99%.
You mean 10%?
Yeah, well, you got to start small. You got to start small, because right now it's been less than 10%.
Jason, we got to have a talk with you.
Oh, with me?
Yeah. If you think 90% is acceptable.
Pablo, everything I learn from you. I
That's
learned
what
from
you don't
watching
know.
you, Pablo.
That is why you don't know that much. Looks like the Milwaukee O-line is coming out there. Walker with disc picks up on the 20-yard line by the hash marks.
Oh,
Nolik getting open.
On
Swings it to Sir. To Nolik.
72 unguarded in this break space, more or less.
To the sideline we go. We love it. We love the sidelines today. Back to the middle to Sir. Nolik. She's going to launch it. There it is. Backhand hook. Huge.
Great throw.
Montenegro right outside. 5 yards to go. Unmarked. Everyone behind her. Now can they convert? Hands on conversion. What do we talk about? They have to convert this. Nice and easy. Vertical stack. Madison. Sorry, Moore.
To Tien.
Sir trying to get open as the ace. And she does. Flip
That's
into the end zone.
It was already a goal.
Jarek with the goal.
A great throw there from Nolik to open up that field. That backhand finding the unguarded person deep. Two things of note there. One, as I said, the throw. Two, you can't let your deep get pulled in that far and just leave that side open. That's the dangerous space, and especially if you don't trust yourself to close that ground, you got to threaten it a little bit more. Something we've been seeing a lot of in this end zone is the lack of flow among this handler weave. We see people cutting to the same spot far too often. This is something that they need to cut out if they want to have higher conversion rates on both sides.
Man, you're so critical, Jason.
Well, you know what they say. Pressure makes diamonds, Pavel.
I think you've said that 3 times now.
Because it's still true every time.
Still true.
Every time.
It's still a fact. 6:14 remaining in the third quarter here. We have the Monarchs 13, Atlanta Soul 4. Looks like the regular D line here from the Monarchs. Fennig with the pull.
Oh, that's got some loft on it there.
Will it stay in bounds?
Survey
It
says
will.
yes.
Survey says yes. Synergy.
Oh, good holster there.
Sour beer.
Oh, wow.
Throws it deep, but might be too wide. It is too wide. Sour beer there looking for number 0-0 fitting.
In the industry, we call that a same third throw.
Well, I don't know what industry you're in, Jason, but I'm pretty sure that was a middle of the field huck to a right third huck. That would not be same third.
Oh, well, maybe
If only we had a replay to show you.
If only we had a replay to show that I was right and you were in fact wrong.
Fennig
But regardless.
on the 35-yard line, swings it immediately to the middle. Carpenter did this now.
Good defense here from Atlanta.
Fennig muscles her way. Oh, she's going to send it. Of course she is. High back end.
Oh.
And Deed. I believe that's Hikari right there.
I believe you are correct, but point block from...
That's Bosher, I believe. No?
I think it's rolling.
No, that's rolling. Excuse me. Rolling. And she's going to try to score it.
Oh,
She gets it right outside
great
the end
grab.
zone. Sideline trap. Flips it. Number 34, Carpenter. Monarchs break once again.
It's a good point there from Milwaukee. Good pressure on both sides from both teams, but Milwaukee was just the one that was able to punch in and value the disc a little bit more.
I mean, this Atlanta team is sending it. They all have, it seems like the light is still green. It's just execution of the throws is just not there today.
Yeah, on that throwaway huck from Atlanta, the wrong edge on that, a little too IO, sailed out of bounds. You need to have to fall the other way if you want that to be a completion. But if Atlanta's trying to win this game, hucks are the only way to do it at this point. You have so much clock to work against. You need to score fast.
It's quite the catch-22, Jason. You gotta score fast, but you're not executing it the way you want to score fast, and it's what do you do?
Yeah.
You know?
If you gave me the reins for this Atlanta team, my goal, no longer outcome-based, it's process-based. I would say we don't want to throw huck. We want to have completions. We want to have high offensive possession, and we want to grow from this. We have a young team here.
Very young team.
Very
18
young.
to 22-year-olds, mostly from this Atlanta squad.
All of them.
The future is very bright.
Future is very bright.
The present is not, but it's all about the process at this point. I think you're right.
You got to trust the process.
Pull from the Monarchs going about 55 yards. Overthrow to Hikari.
More with
picks
the
it up.
grab.
Nolik, Montenegro. Back in the end zone. We love end zone as the Monarchs. We love converting end zone. And we do. Nolik gets open.
Great throw there from Montenegro. Really, that's the type of throw that if you're going to do at the space, these teams should be doing more. Flat, not floaty, right at your target's chest. No chance for anybody to make a play on that besides your desired receiver.
Monarchs 15, Atlanta 4. As we see this replay of end zone, Nolik going up line there, getting open. .427 remaining here in the third quarter. Looks looks like... What does it look like? It looks like both D-lines are going to play offense, or both D-lines are going to go against each other here.
It does seem that way. And whenever you're down by this much like Atlanta is, that's what you have to do. You have to put your D-line in, get them some reps, rest your O-line for many reasons. One, just to give them reps. Two, you can't run your O-line into the ground, Pavel. That's how you get injuries, and nobody wants that right here.
It is hot. The turf is hotter. It's about 75 degrees here in Wauwatosa.
Feels at least 76 to me, especially on this turf.
But you're sitting next to me, so that provides a couple more degrees.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
Pool goes up.
So much firepower on this D-line.
Now, Sinejini and Hokari taking a break here. Oh, what a bid.
Great grip
Diving bid from Pruka there. Number 21 now. With the disc. Lee swings it. Number 32. Yang with the disc in the middle of the field. 20 yards to go to the end zone. Matsunaga tries to squeeze it into the end zone. But it's a turnover. It's a block.
A little too ambitious there with that throw. A little too much distance to go.
Now let's see if this Milwaukee D-line can get a break going 85 yards the other way.
Oh,
They
wow.
cannot.
Phenomenal point block there from Atlanta. See, that's what happened. You get a little too lazy, you get a little too content, and then all of a sudden you find yourself getting hand blocked.
Number 58 there, O'Neal on the hand block.
All right, let's see if Atlanta can convert this.
They can. Number 91, Matsunaga to number 32. Yang on the score. And Atlanta's on the board for the first time in a couple dozen minutes here, huh?
It's been a while. It's been a while.
But they did it.
They did it. Something that we're noticing a lot from Milwaukee so far is they're just sagging these lanes, which is working so well for them. It's forcing these extra throws, which, as we said, is the key to getting Atlanta to turn the disc. And they're still able to provide that pressure in the backfield with either help D or just whenever the thrower looks dumped, just connecting. Really, it's a great strat. I think they're probably going to continue doing it. Atlanta, on the other hand, the way that they're been able to beat it is by cycling up their handlers upfield. So if they keep doing that aggressively, I think we're going to see ourselves getting a bit more of a competitive ball game, at least in terms of point by point.
You know what I think? I think the Soul will break on this point.
You think
I'm
so?
calling it. Yes, I think now they have the energy. They've scored one. They put it in. They have that visual cue of victory. I think they're going to come out. They're going to get a block, and they're going to convert on this left end zone here.
Well, far be for me to ever bet against Atlanta, but I'll believe it when I see it, Pavel.
Nowak picks up. 65 yards to go. Swings it to Walker.
Oof.
Now, this is a very loose zone, if that's what you want to call it, from Atlanta. Really forcing Milwaukee to chisel and to throw wide swings. Now we're trapped on the sideline. Jarek, Nowak, Blade over the top. Sir, Moore, touchdown, Milwaukee Monarchs.
Something that I'm kind of surprised that Atlanta isn't doing is they never really seem to be trapping sideline. Their goal is just to force a lot of throws, which has not really been working out super well for them so far this game. I really, really, really want them to tighten up once they get it on the sideline, deny some of these reset looks, force it over the top, force something to make it a little bit different. But right now, you're just giving these experienced players really easy options.
It's an experienced handler's dream to have a loose zone with very little wind that you can just, do a little blade over the top to the second layer. Literally, I would do nothing else. If I could do one thing for the rest of my life, I would love to play against a loose zone and just throw that throw every day.
Sounds like you're almost Masters ready, Pavel. Just got to wait a few more years, and then you can live your dream.
No comment. 16-5 Monarchs over to Soul. We have 2 minutes, 36 seconds remaining in this third quarter. Looks like Boscher on the pool.
Good pull there by Boscher. Really, we can see that Milwaukee is excelling in the pull game more than Atlanta is, getting these pulls a little bit deeper, hanging a little bit longer.
Hokari to Sour Beer. Now, Sinejini on the sideline, midfield. Swings it to the middle now, Hokari. Matthews, Bakari, Sinejini. Just doing so much work this game. Almost every other, I believe, which is super uncommon for in the semi-professional setting.
Very, very much so.
Looks like the Monarchs are, a throwaway there from Sinejini, a little too far for her receiver. Wasn't quite sure what defense the Monarchs were playing there. It looks like they were leaving the handlers uncovered.
Yeah.
Forcing them or enticing them to swing it. Fennig, deep shot to Pruka, but no. Huge layout from number 12. That's Rolling with the score.
Rolling having a pretty solid game so far these last couple points. Very exciting. Good Ds, making some good cuts. And as we see now, getting rewarded.
No hesitation from Robin Fennig. She's going to rip it.
She's going to rip it. Honestly, not at all surprising to hear that. If there's a, I might not be as tapped into the PUL as other people, but if there's one thing I know, it's that Robin Fennig is going to shoot.
Shooters shoot.
Shooters.
And bucket getters get buckets. That's the motto we live by.
I wish I could argue with you, but I can't. You're just saying facts right now to me.
Milwaukee 17, Atlanta 5. 1:41 to go in this third quarter. That was a very quick score. And yeah, we have not seen a lot of scores in that end zone. So pretty impressed by the Monarchs there.
Yeah, very impressive point for them. If you're this Atlanta's coach, what are you telling to your line right now?
Slow and steady. I would love to see a error-free point from Atlanta right now.
Yeah.
Just complete some throws.
Yeah.
Swing it once or twice, but I need to see that handler-to-cutter connection. Right now it's been really handler-driven. I need to see more handler-to-cutter connections.
Yeah. What I would love to see more of, too, is those handlers moving upfield, cycling in with cutters in the backfield. Really makes these poachy looks that we're seeing from Milwaukee a lot harder.
It's a nice one from Sinejini to Wilson, I believe. Wilson to the end zone.
And it looks like
O'Neal there with the score, I believe.
Atlanta is able to convert in the red zone.
So that was the completion, Huck. But you saw that Wilson was stationary when she caught it. And there was a defender actually behind her. So that was like a pocket pass of sorts. And that, typically, this game typically resulted in a throwaway.
Yeah.
So that I don't want to congratulate that too much, but it was a nice find.
It was a nice find. And then here as well, we see that number 6 is throwing this away shot in the red zone, which has also typically resulted in a turn. But this case, it did not. So as we were saying at the start of the game, either they're going to adjust their strategy or maybe they're just going to start connecting with these and grow into that skill and get more comfortable.
And excuse me, I was wrong. That is Brooke Hartman there with the score. Number 39. 17-6. A minute and some change remaining. Does the clock come into play at this point, Jason, do you think, or normal offense?
I think normal offense for both teams. Like at this point, there's such a gap in the score that it's going to be difficult for the Monarchs to lose. They would have to do some very, very deliberate tactics change to make that happen. And right now, I think both teams are playing, thinking about the next game and the rest of their season in mind.
Nolik looks like a horizontal stack. It's going to be a sweep play. There it is. To Sir in the middle of the field. She's going to launch it. And too far.
It's a tight one there. It's very crowded throwing lane.
Looks like Stanton was coming under and the throw was going away. That's a recipe for disaster.
Yep.
Atlanta ball. Is this the time they'll get their first break? Is this it? Is this the point?
You know, I'll bet on Atlanta here. I'll say Atlanta gets on the board. They're hungry for it. They want it. Nobody wants to go a game without getting a break, and I think this is their chance.
O'Neal the disc now, surveying nothing. Nice catch there.
Some good.
Just the fingertips. Number 14, Morton.
Yes,
wow.
Let's go.
Number 32,
oh, wow.
Yang with the recovery grab there. Picking up the trash. Matsunaga now.
Some tight D from
Hartman.
Milwaukee.
About 55 more yards to go. Excuse me, 45 yards to go. And we have a shot downfield. Will it work? It is not going to work. Just, actually, now this time, actually just outside the reach.
Just outside the reach.
Inches.
I really thought that Atlanta player was going to find that fifth gear. When you're that close, it's just, I feel like that's the fuel you need to kick it up a notch.
Looks like there's a call in the field. And the universal sign for a stall, which is patting your forehead. is what I'm seeing. So it looks like a stall called.
Very convenient that we have such universal signs.
And that we all know them.
Of course, all of us know them.
Now there's going to be a discussion here about the stall. Here on the replay. That's a beautiful grab there. Save.
Really
Picks up the trash
save
by Yang. And now this throw just outside the reach of Leon.
Literally inches away. That's got to be tough for both players there. We see some heated discussion here. We hope that this doesn't affect the...
But this is huge, right? Because in the PUL, in the quarters 1 through 3, if you have the disc and the buzzer sounds, you get to play out your possession. So if this is actually a stall and they have 0.01 seconds remaining, it doesn't matter. They can keep it until they turn it over.
Yeah.
Looks like the quarter is coming to an end.
Looks like the stall call was retracted.
And that is the end of quarter 3. Milwaukee 17, Atlanta 6.
Yeah, an exciting half. We've seen some good stuff from Milwaukee. Hope that it continues to happen.
We'll see you soon after this break. Welcome back. Week 7 of the Premier Ultimate League. We are here in Wauwatosa, Wisconsin, with the Milwaukee Monarchs taking on the Atlanta Soul. It is quite the game. Wouldn't you say so, Jason? 17 points for the Monarchs, and only 6 for the Soul. Any reflections so far in the first 3 quarters?
Yeah, I would say that we're seeing a lot of intensity on both sides of the disc on defense from both teams, which is honestly impressive to see whenever you have such a large gap in the score. I would say that this is a game that Milwaukee is pretty confident they're going to walk away from with the win, but that the fact that you can still bring that energy is an impressive feat. And I think it shows that Milwaukee has plans for the rest of the season, that they're not over after this game. They have dreams of becoming a better team, improving, and that all starts here.
Yeah, I mean, the difference for me is Milwaukee just connecting on their deep shots at a little higher clip than Atlanta right now, and they're both teams are looking to shoot it.
Yeah.
And that's about it. We're going to get underway here. Atlanta on offense. Hokari to Matthews. To Wilson. Wilson shoots it. That's a great shot, but it's going to be not far enough.
Picked off by,
I believe that's Watson. To Bosher. Oh, that's a interesting throw by Bosher there. A little bit too wide there, a little bit too outside in.
Yeah,
Needs to be a little flatter.
That's a throw that you don't need to throw in this point of the game.
Wilson now on the sideline, 30 yards to go. Back to Wilson. She's going every other, but a little too far overthrown. And Bosher picks it off to Fenig. Watson. Watson lets it rip.
Great D there from Atlanta, number 23, Jessica Sourbeer.
Synergy now picks up for Atlanta. Swings it to Matthews. Continues to Brooke Hartman.
Oh, Huck to Sourbeer, outside of reach.
So you see, beginning of the fourth quarter, both teams are staying to script. You know, they're putting it deep, and they're just, you know, not executing.
Yeah, they're not. You honestly hope to see some more, you know, in-game adjustments from teams in terms of strategy and how they play. But in this case, we're just not seeing that this game.
Diamond cutting pattern there to get it to Bosher. To Watson. Great handler defense there by Hokari.
Sir finding the option.
To Bosher. To Taylor. Watson. Bosher. The disc goes a little too high, a little floaty on that flick.
A lot of contact there under the disc, but no call happened. Probably the right play when you just have a bunch of people jostling to try to follow a moving disc.
Yeah, you certainly don't want to call a foul there, especially when it's a jump ball like that. You don't deserve the ball in that situation. Hokari now with the disc, playing catch with Sinajini.
Sounds like the story of this game so far.
Oh, what's happening there? No, that's number 6 right there. Wilson with the catch. That's one of the first handler to cutter connections we've seen this quarter.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just Hokari and Sinajini playing catch.
Or throwing away Hucks. Nice throw.
Number 6, Wilson. Sourbeer open. Wilson does not hit her. Swings it now to Sinajini. She's looking for the huck. Yep, there it is.
You saw her staring at that.
That's an outside in backhand. Anheuser, as we like to call it in our sister sport here, disc golf. Addicts.
This is really an important throw here. Reset the stall, get the disc.
It is end zone, and what do we say about end zone so far, Jason? We need to convert. Oh, and they do. That's a conversion. We love seeing end zone conversions.
We do, we do.
That is Addicts with the assist. And I believe that's Fitton with the goal.
Really not a pretty point from either team, but Atlanta was just able to survive a little bit longer. And then once they had this offensive possession, great huck from Sinajini, move that disc downfield and give them a chance to score in the red.
Yeah, she was looking for it all. I mean, she had the outside in grip on her back, and she was ready to rip it. It was just a matter of when the receiver recognized that Sinajini was ready to rip it. You know, she was open by 10 yards. She was just jogging out there, ready to receive it.
Yeah, she was open by a good amount, and that's, I think, a good adjustment by Sinajini, because we've seen a lot of huck throws that were open, but the cutter's not cutting for it. So you really have to make sure your cutter's expecting and moving in the direction where you want to throw it before you uncork it, and that's just what happened in that scenario.
Milwaukee 17, Atlanta 7. About 8 minutes and 30 seconds left in this game.
I'm really curious to see if Atlanta can win this fourth quarter here.
And they'll need to start, I mean, the way that you start that is with a break. You know, the train isn't going to go by itself. You got to have a conductor. You got to have the train that pushes the other trains.
Yeah.
Man, I wish I knew more about trains.
Well, the most important thing is belief.
More to Schrader. She was trying to make another highlight play.
And if anybody can do it, it's Schrader, but that's just a little too far out of reach.
It's too bad. I really wanted that highlight. Now Atlanta looking for a break here.
Oh.
Unfortunate drop there. And Milwaukee will get the disc bag 20 yards outside the end zone. Looks like Nowak picking up the disc on the sideline. She resets it to the middle to Walker. Hammer to Schrader. She catches it outside of the end zone, right on the cone. Walker goes up blind. Sir fills in. Middle of the field, 7 yards out. Sir to Nowak, too far. Is that an end zone turnover, or are my eyes deceiving me again? Because my eyes at this point are bleeding.
I would say, Pablo, no. I think that is, in fact, an end zone turnover. Something that is imprinted.
And the replay here. This is Moore's
Huck to
Schrader, I believe, yes, and she's going to be ESPN top 10.
Oh,
Not
wow.
Quite. Not quite.
Even-
There's still some time left to make those plays.
Even though not a completion, very few players can get that much air on a bid. Oh, wow.
That is somehow completed.
What a grab.
Yang did this now, and she lets it rip to a crowd. Lots of contact there.
Lots of contact. I think
Would not be surprised if that foul call was upheld.
I would agree. Because even if she might not have had it the first time, they took her out of the play. She had an opportunity for a second attempt, and then she was just on the ground.
Hopefully she's okay.
We
I
see the
believe that is Brooke Hartman injured, number 39. Let's see. See what happens.
Yeah, this was definitely a very bold throw. You see both defenders were already like under that disc, tight there. You need to either throw her more out to space, let her make a play on that.
A little underthrown, so the defender's momentum takes them into the offender there.
Yeah.
Looks like she's all right.
I think that's a good no call there. Understandably, if the foul was called, but I think that's just a poor throw.
Middle of the disc of Montenegro, and she's going to take a big shot to Sir outside the end zone. She will flip it. I believe that's Watson, number 9, with the goal.
Good adjustment there by Sir to catch that disc. It's a little shorter than possibly desirable, but
Good adjustment there by the receiver.
Yeah, Sir had that read. Montenegro, though, still throwing it a good amount of distance.
Milwaukee 18, Atlanta 7. Let's take a replay. Let's take a look at the replay here.
Yeah, you see number 1 on Atlanta, Cashin just going too far, letting her momentum carrier. She might have had a chance to make the play, but just didn't adjust to the short throw in time.
Six minutes, 33 seconds remaining in this game. Looks like Fenig is going to give up the pull duty to Boscher.
You know, it's honestly, you're spoiled for choices on this line with players who can pull it.
And play offense after the turnover.
And play offense after the turnover.
Spoiled. Boscher, Fenig, world-class players.
World-class pullers, too.
And yeah.
Awesome.
It's an amazing invention. If you want to Shazam everyone else.
Hokari in the middle of the field.
A little bit
Nice
of a
cut.
blown coverage there from Milwaukee.
Fitton putting it up right outside the end zone now.
That looks like it's on the line, so that is out of
That
bounds.
is out of bounds. Roth there, unable to keep her feet in bounds on that catch. And Fenig is going to come over and probably rip one. What do you think?
Survey says yes. If there's a throwing lane and anybody cutting deep at the step, it's going to be a Huck.
And there it is. There it is. We are great commentators because we know everything. Boscher, complete. Shriver. Taylor. Back to Taylor.
Nice handler weave.
Boscher. Oh, hammer time. It's hammer time. Georgia Boscher to the end zone.
Yeah. Ending that with a pretty good hammer, but
Number 7, Kennedy.
the throw was good, the cut was good, but the thing of note there was where was her defender? Defender was nowhere near her. This is the type of thing that you just can't be letting happen, especially when you have the discs and players like Boscher on the field. Because you know that's going to be a throw every time.
And that's a break for the Milwaukee Monarchs.
It is a break for the Milwaukee Monarchs.
Milwaukee 19, Atlanta 7.
Monarchs have enough breaks. You would think they would share some with Atlanta, but I guess not today.
That's pretty mean. That's a mean thing to say, Jason.
Oh, sorry, Pablo. I learned it from you again.
I'm not a good teacher.
Here we are, 19-17, Milwaukee up, Atlanta still in it. Honestly, Atlanta's offense isn't looking bad. They are making 1 or 2 bad decisions, and then they're just having a lot of unfortunate drops.
And they keep setting the disc vertically deep, right? They're not content with hitting unders.
They're
very satisfied with looking for the deep shot, and sometimes it works.
Yeah.
But more often than not, today it did not work.
Right. Whenever you have throwers like Sinigini taking those deep shots, more or less it's a connect. But whenever you have these other throws who didn't necessarily have her power or precision, we're seeing a lot more turnovers.
Matthews picks up Sinigini. Back to Matthews in the middle of the field. She swings it to this close sideline. Cashin, Matthews, Hakari, Cashin.
Nice.
Back to Hakari, upline with momentum. She will not send it, which definitely is surprising. Hakari going every other, floats one up, and that will be a turnover, unfortunately. The wind just caught that one.
The wind caught that one.
Seemed like the edge was a little unfavorable there for the direction of the wind.
Yeah, you really think that Atlanta would have adjusted by now. You know that you can't trust this wind. As we said before, very swirly. You just need to be driving these throws into the chest of your receivers.
Interception throwing to no one there. Sinigini with the disc now. Atlanta, a great chance to score, and they do. Yes, they do. Number 6, Wilson, to number 17, Matthews with the goal.
Say whatever you want about Atlanta.
I am saying whatever I want.
I'd love that for you. But Sinigini is having herself a very good game. Good throws. That was a good heads-up D there. And honestly,
she's driving this offense.
Quarterbacking this offense.
She is the conductor of the train or the bus driver of the bus, right? There are some transportation metaphors.
You know what? And you said you didn't know anything about the American locomotive system. And
finest locomotives in the world.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So with that score, it looks like it's 19 for Monarchs and 8 for the Soul. 4 minutes left and change of this game. Any takeaways so far? I mean, I know we'll do a little takeaways at the end, but I mean, what do you do with 4 minutes and you're up by 11?
Honestly, as I said with both teams, this is a process game. If I'm Atlanta, I really just want to be able to take pride in my offense in these last 4 minutes. I want there to be no drops. I want there to be precise throws.
Right.
We don't necessarily need to huck it, but we need to be driving. They will definitely. No, as we know. But they need to hit these in cuts with more precision and a bit more deliberation. If it's a drop, if it's a throwaway, let it be a drop.
Atlanta with a zone, and unfortunately, number 9 there. Watson slips, and it's a throwaway. Now Atlanta has the disc. Wilson to Yang. Oh, what a catch! And unfortunately, she cannot hang on with it to it. Looks like an injury. Hopefully, she is okay.
I believe that was Boscher with the throwaway. Honestly, I'm not 100% sure what she was seeing there. Whenever you're up by 11, you don't really need to end this game too quickly with throws like that.
Yang looks like she needs some medical attention, but hopefully she'll be all right. She takes a sub. The disc is tapped in. Monarchs back with it. Looks like Fenig.
It does. It's a good sign whenever you're able to get yourself off the field, even if you are crawling.
Watson. Fenig. Carpenter. Fenig back to Carpenter. The zone is still working. That's the zone breaker right there. Outside in flick to the sideline. Now they have numbers. Looks like rolling. Getting back to Carpenter. Carpenter, easy peasy does it.
Easy peasy does it. That whole, right after that over-the-top flick, it looked like Atlanta was just chasing. They needed to get ahead of the play. They needed to stop that next look, but they were just trailing the entire time.
Number 9, Watson with the goal. Let's take a replay here. That's the zone breaker there, the outside in flick. And now they have numbers. They have momentum going. No problem whatsoever. Watson finds the open space in the end zone.
We
Easy back in completion for an end zone conversion, Jason.
for an end zone conversion. And you know what? Part of the reason they were able to do that was because there was no defenders there. So fortunate that they were able to score in that situation. Be very concerning if they were not able to punch that one in.
Jason, don't make me tell the audience about how you looked freshman year of your college career.
Oh,
Don't let me
Pavel.
bring that up, man.
Pavel, you say whatever you want about me freshman year. A lot of moxie. A lot of moxie.
Not a lot of skill or athleticism. Or anything to speak
Athleticism,
of.
that's crazy. You must be confusing me with some other freshmen who couldn't throw flicks.
Well, that tends to happen when you play at the University of Chicago.
Oh, the University of Chicago, the feeder of the Midwest, the Ivy League of Illinois, as some would call it.
Go Cats.
Go Cats. Now we have Atlanta out here. As I was saying before, they really need to stop the next play. I really hope on this point that there'll just be some intensity. You don't want to be driving home, flying home, thinking that you left something on the field. Maybe you're not playing for a win, but at some point you got to play for pride, and you got to play for tomorrow.
If you're playing with 16 players, I can guarantee you that you're not going to feel like you left anything on the field afterwards.
Oh, Pablo, that's where you and I are different, good sir.
I guess you played the University of Chicago where there were only 16 players to play.
Exactly.
So
We don't have 3B teams at my school, Mr. Man.
Shout out to the University of Colorado Mama Bird. I'm sorry that I am your alumnus. A pull goes up from the Monarchs. Monarchs 20, Atlanta 8. Hakari taps it in. Looks like a little zone look from the Monarchs. And Hakari puts it up. Fennig there. Easy block there, I would say.
That's a tough matchup.
Tough matchup. She didn't look like she had a good reset option there. And it was a stall 8, stall 9, maybe throw. Watson driving the bus now. Rolling.
Nice throw.
Pruka.
In the red zone.
Oh, that's a conversion to rolling.
And we are able to hold the disc and punch it in. And that time there was defense there.
Fourth quarter is the best quarter.
Fourth quarter is the best quarter.
Not much left in the tank for Atlanta.
Not much
Doesn't
left
look
in the
like
tank.
it.
Yeah, in the first, as I said, in the first part of this game, we're seeing a lot of mistakes from both sides. A lot of drops, a lot of handler movement that wasn't pristine.
That's right.
But we've just seen Milwaukee really in this last half step it up, create that space, create those throwing lanes, and create those options.
And focusing on their throws and catches.
Focusing on their throws and catches.
Results and goals.
It's almost like throws and catches are an important part of this game we play.
Is that what they taught you at the University of Chicago?
Pavel, it
I hope
really
so.
is. Quite exactly.
Bunch of nerds trying to play Frisbee.
Cerebral.
Back here, week 7, Premier Ultimate League.
Cerebral game.
Milwaukee versus Atlanta, 21 Monarchs, Soul 8. No nerds on the field. I can guarantee you these athletes are nothing like what Jason, here my co-commentator, is
Yes.
like.
Yeah, they're 100% Chads on this field, just like my co-commentator, Pavel.
I think we're having too much fun. There's still 2 minutes and 33 seconds remaining. We have to stay professional. And it looks like Sarah Nolik is going to get the pull duty for the Monarchs, pulling right to left.
As I said, Sarah Nolik recently recovered from shoulder surgery. Quite impressive she was able to get that disc that far.
Sindigini picking up. Looks like another Anheuser backhand completed to Wilson. And that's a goal.
That's a goal.
Number 0-0, Fitton. Another great backhand outside in throw for Sindigini. Pocket pass. No, these are not throws that are going to cutters that are running away and you're throwing to space. These are pocket passes to cutters that are already in the space.
Yep.
And in the first half, they had trouble completing those.
Yeah.
Looks like now, it's a little easier.
Yeah, this is, honestly, I don't think we can emphasize this throw enough. If it is not right on the money, if it is a foot or two higher or a foot or two lower, or not in that exact point, it's probably going to be a D.
Precision.
Something which I'm sure the center handler for some Chicago Open teams could learn something about.
Monarchs 21, Soul 9, 2 minutes 8 seconds remaining in this contest of the Week 7 Premier Ultimate League. Looks like the regular O-line is out there. Excuse me, Jason.
Oh, I was about to say, I think this Atlanta line has something to say. They look feisty, they look amped, and they look ready to play.
Looks like Yang is back on the field. Very glad to see that she's okay.
Nice hang time on this disc. A little shallow, but we'll give any player who runs down an opportunity to get down on it.
Schrader, middle of the field. 45 to go. Montenegro. Undercut to Jarek. Jarek puts up a big blading outside in to Nolik on the money.
Honestly, I wonder if that was to Nolik. If so, a good throw. If not, makes you wonder.
Outside in forehands and outside in backhands win games. You heard it here first. Not swings, not dumps, not end zones, but this throw right here on the replay. Jarek with the big outside in. Definitely going for number 33 there, Stanton, but instead Nolik goes in the backside, follows the play, cleans up the trash. That's what we call backside offense.
Yeah, we love a good play follow there. Nolik really just showing her athleticism, showing her off-season conditioning, following this action. Truly has legs for days.
Nolik typically a quarterback of sorts for the offense, but seeing her go downfield makes me a little jealous.
Yeah, no, I would be jealous too if I were you, Pavel.
Monarchs 22, Atlanta 9. 1 minute 38 remaining. Quick scores there. That was like 3 or 4 scores within a 3-minute window. Where was that in the first half?
Yeah, well, in the first half, they were having some quick scores. It was later on where First quarter. In the second quarter, things were starting to slow down, as well as the third. But yeah, we're not seeing as many errant errors as we were before. Things are looking a little bit crisper from both sides.
And it's typically the other way around. You know, typically you play, more focused, and you have more focus and crisp. You play crisp, you throw crisp in the first quarter or so, and then the fourth quarter is when you struggle because the fatigue sets in. It seems like it's the opposite thing here.
Which is super interesting, especially considering, as we've been mentioning throughout this game, the roster sizes of both teams.
Tiny. Looks like Wilson is unmarked at 30, but Senegini is not gonna. It's gonna scuba it over the top.
Great scuba to put this disc into touch.
Sour Beer puts up a big outside in. Can Fennig get there? She cannot, and that's a goal. Great shot by Sour Beer. That's a sweet beer if I've ever seen one.
That is a sweet beer, yeah. Right on the money, A
seltzer of sorts.
Oh, of sorts.
An apple cider seltzer. No, apple cider maybe, just cider.
Yeah.
Maybe a hard cider.
A treat for all of our sweet tooths at home, that throw truly was. Really, as I said before, the throw was good, but the highlight's got to be the fact that where is your defense? Really, you're no deep, no defender anywhere near
That's right.
this receiver. Like, these are things that if you're an elite team, you just can't let happen too often, and we've seen it happen several times this game.
I think I think Milwaukee is challenging Atlanta to make those throws because they have not proven that they could complete them in the first half.
That is fair, especially whenever you see someone who's not synergy with the disc. You want to make them throw it. 22-10 here, a minute 24 on the clock. Atlanta pulling down to the Monarchs. And as we said, these teams, despite the score, despite the time, still have a lot of fight in the tank. So let's see what happens.
Looks like O'Neal in the pool there. The Monarchs will pick it up at the 36-yard line. Nolik, no mark.
Quarterbacking, as you said, she so often does.
Moore lets it fly. A flick outside in will not stay in bounds. Too wide. And Atlanta ball.
Too wide, but I also do think that cutter was too deep by the time that Moore decided to take that throw.
Nothing good about that.
Nothing good about that.
Number 58 picks up. That is O'Neal for Atlanta at the 35-yard line. 45 yards to go.
Oh, very
Yang
close
on the
to the
sideline.
line.
Yang rips an outside in, cross field, backhand. It's going to be completed somehow. That's a visionary throw.
You see another situation where I'm not 100% sure who the desired receiver was.
Sometimes you just got to, chuck and pray and hope. Oh, no. That is a backhand that just got away a little too high. And, again, end zone conversion.
End zone conversion.
Not where we want it.
Yeah, if there's one thing that I hope this Atlanta team takes away and works on before their next game, it's these red zone sets. You really
I actually have one, maybe.
And maybe
I have one.
Yeah, no, God willing. Because really, whenever you get that disc there, as a coach, as a team, you got to already be thinking, okay, this is our point. You got to know that you're going to score it. Whenever you can't trust the red zone, really, your offense, it's hard to build on.
I mean, red zone offense is so much about communication. It's about who's active, who's not active,
Yeah.
and about assigning roles on the fly.
Yeah.
It's not about having crazy throws
No, no.
or being even a good thrower. It's just about communicating who is responsible for conducting the train
Exactly.
into the depot.
Yeah. And then the other important thing is you need to know what looks are we going for, where are our tracks going to take us, and throwing those things over the stack whenever you already have defenders there, that's not what you want to do. That's going off the rails, as we call it.
That was probably our best segment so far, Jason.
Oh, look at us.
That was an analogy drawn out by two different people over at least 20 seconds.
Yeah,
Wow.
it
We're getting
turns
better
out the
at this.
players aren't the only ones improving today.
No, sir. We come out in the fourth quarter. Nolik picks up the disc, 80 yards to go. 45 seconds remaining. Breaks it to Schrader.
Sideline providing some energy here.
Looks like Montenegro. Big outside in. It's going to float a little bit.
Oh.
A little bump there. I would anticipate a foul call. Indeed, a foul call by Moore.
Oh, interesting. It did seem to me that the disc did bounce off her hands after the call. But
She was bumped before
gotcha.
having an attempt at the play. So an easy foul, but she throws it away, looking for Nolik.
That's going to be a shot.
And Yang going deep. Can she make another grab? Yes, she can.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes, she can.
A spectacular play.
Third spectacular play from Yang so far this game.
Having a game.
Now, end zone offense. What do we talk about? Who's going to take control? And Yang scores. Not quite at the buzzer. I believe there's a second left.
I know
Plenty
that
of
we...
points from Yang.
Great play. Really a good point. Good point all around there from Ang. But I know it's a goal, but I still am not super happy with that red zone offense.
Not at all. It was a vertical throw that was bending and pretty high. And
Those are the exact type of throws that
You do
Atlanta's
not
been
want.
throwing away all game.
beautiful layout here.
Great grab. Truly going fully horizontal in the air. And then the composure after. Really, some players will get frazzled after they hit the deck like that. No, not in this case. Chili, reset the disc, and then went to go score. (22-11). Milwaukee up. 1 second.
1 second remaining, so it's the fourth quarter, so we will not. This is an actual buzzer. We're not playing out the final possession. So as soon as Milwaukee touches it, the game will be over.
Yep. I
And
think
the score will be 22-11.
they
That's
get
how
one
we'll finish.
throw, correct?
Yeah, but do you think they'll take it?
They should not. They should not. Someone might just rip it for fun, but no Milwaukee player
Oh
should go for this or risk injury to grab this disc.
I can't believe it, but Robin Fennick is going to actually rip it.
Score a touchdown!
Not quite enough.
Yeah.
That's I think
I think that's for the
deservedly
best.
so. I don't think you deserve a completion there.
Agreed.
You're up by 11. Just hold it.
Just hold it. Especially considering how hard these pulls have been, I'm not at all surprised that did not make it to the end zone.
And that is game over. 22-11. Monarchs over Atlanta.
Yeah. We saw some flashes of greatness from both teams, but I do believe that the coaching staff, the captains, the teams in general, they know what they need to work on after this game. And hopefully they're going to rust it off, get ready for their next game, and improve upon their points.
Speaking about the next game for Atlanta, it looks like it's next week against the Revolution.
Oh,
That's
wow.
going to be a very tough game because Revo Pro is quite the squad. Next game for the Monarchs will be against Indianapolis Red. Live on YouTube on this channel. So, for everyone here, for Jason Valley, I'm Paul Villanas signing off. Thank you so much for joining us, and have a good one.